Hello to my geometry class. Tonight is October 5th. I'm going to be doing the challenge problem that I gave you, number 32 on page 156 of chapter 2, and anyone else that's in another school or whatever, this is the Glencoe McGraw-Hill book. So I'm going to be doing that practice problem with you in today's video. So this is the problem we're going to be doing, writing in math. Write the steps you would use to complete the proof below, given BC is congruent to CD, AB is equal to 1/2 BD, prove AB is congruent to CD, and given that right there. So first I'm gonna start out, I want to draw my two columns. So statements. So statements, BC congruent to CD. I'm just going to separate them into different ones. You can leave them in the same step.
Given.
BC and CD, so it's saying these. Then it's saying AB is 1/2 the size of BD. All right, so this just to help me kind of visualize it, this is X, this is 2X. All right, we're trying to prove that AB is congruent to CD. So intuitively, we can sort of already see if this and this are equal, can add those two together. So it's like this plus this is equal to 2 of one of these. And since we're trying to prove that CD is equal to AB, it's sort of like, I'm going to think ahead here for a second. I want to say that this plus this equals this. And so I want to use my segment addition postulate. So BC plus CD equals BD. And I can say this because of the segment. All right, from there, so now I have BD, and I'm going to say 2AB is equal to 1/2 BD. So as if I were multiplying both sides by 2 over here, I'm going to say 2AB is equal to 1BD. And I can say that that's just the division property of equality. All right, so now I have BD and BD. I have 2AB equals that. Next, I'm going to say, I'm going to substitute that in for there. So I'm going to say BC plus CD is equal to 2AB. And I'm going to say substitution. From there, I need to prove that this is equal to 2CD, and then I can divide both sides by 2. So based on this, I can say, and I'm forgetting off the top of my head, but I need to say not just that they're congruent, but I need to say that BC is equal to CD, and I forget what it is. I forget what it's called. I'll come back to that in a moment. Actually, I'll just pause right now. So, definition of congruent segments. All right, and from there, now that I know BC equals CD, I'm gonna substitute in, since I'm trying to prove that AB is congruent to CD, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to say 7. I want to get rid of this BC here. So I'm going to say CD plus CD is equal to 2AB, and I'm going to say substitution. This is how I was able to do that. And then next, I'm going to say CD plus CD, that's the same as saying 2CD is equal to 2AB. And one thing you might have to say is that CD equals CD by reflexive, but I'm going to kind of skip over that one. So I got that right there, and I can say that that's the definition
of addition slash
multiplication, I think, maybe. Multiplication, subtraction. I'm going to just say addition property of equality, or prop of equality. Prop of equality. All right, from there, I'm going to say, all right, I'm almost there. So lastly, I'm going to divide both sides by 2 and say CD equals AB. And I'm going to say division, property of equality, like dividing both sides by 2. And 10 CD line segment is congruent to AB. And like before, definition of congruent segments. So the real important part is that we're able to state all our things here. You know, if you get a word wrong over here, that's not the biggest problem in the world, right? If you said, you know, segment addition rule or property or something instead of postulate, that's not a big deal. But what you really want to think about is having the vision ahead of time about how you're going to solve it, and think about what you'll have to prove along the way to get there. I know a lot of people on one of those problems, I believe it was page 146, number 10, it was really easy to get messed up with all the different letters. This year I didn't think the letters were that bad, but when you have X, Y, Z, V, and W, they get a little mixed up. So the important part is that you're able to have the vision, think ahead. If you can find like one of the pictures on that homework, and the students that stayed after with me know exactly what I'm talking about. I got pretty frustrated myself. I know it's gonna be something like X, W, V, Z, and Y, something like that. And it was saying that XW is congruent to YZ and XV is congruent to YV. And you had to go through, and I just kept getting confused between all of the letters. And so what I said to them is, you know what, we're gonna pause for a second, we're gonna redraw this. So I got rid of the extra information. I said this, I want you to prove if this is A, this is B, C, D, and we're gonna call this F, we're gonna call this E. I want you to just say out loud to me how you know, if you know that A equals C, and we know that F equals E, can we prove that, I believe we're proving B equals D. And so they're able to say, you know, I can see that if F and E are equal and A is equal to C, if I subtract A from F, I'm gonna get B. So if I know that this F is equal to E, it's almost like saying F minus A equals B and E minus C equals D. And those two statements are equal to each other. So if F minus A is equal to E minus C, and those are both equal to B and then equal to D, then I can say those are equal to each other. So a lot of people were able to say it verbally. They just had a hard time putting this together. So the idea is you want to start with your vision, sort of. What do I need to prove? So in this case, I needed to prove that A plus B equals F. I needed to prove, I needed to bridge the relationship that I knew about these three over to those three and start replacing letters, sort of. So saying that A plus B equals F, and then saying, well, A and C are equal, so I can now say C plus B equals F. And I know D, I don't know D is equal yet to B, but I can say that, you know, F and E are equal, so I'm going to replace F with E, so I can say C minus B equals E. And I know from this that C minus D equals E. And then you can get rid of that, then you can substitute in, and so it's really about vision and then putting the steps together in the middle. The main part we're going to use this for, the main part we're going to be using these proofs for is proving that triangles are congruent. So proving angles are congruent, proving triangles, side angle, side. I think it's chapter 6 maybe, I'm probably wrong, but it's a few chapters later for my honor students, and that's what we're mostly going to be using it for. So I think some of these are so trivial that you're getting tripped up by it. So please don't worry about it. There's not going to be a major test on it. I think I might just do a little quiz on this. I hope this was useful. Use this to your advantage. I should have said this at the beginning, but try to solve it, and then when you're stuck, come back to my video, but whatever. Thank you for watching. Hope it was useful. Put in the comments anything you want me to review, answer, or I don't think I'll make another video tonight, but let me know what other videos you'd like me to post, questions, numbers in the book, homework problems, etc. Thank you for watching. Stay weird. Hey, also one last quick message is to all the students out there. I know a couple people have, some parents out there have been concerned about my using YouTube. I know it's very different than some other teachers, but just to spread the good word and to sort of, if you are liking the videos, let your parents know. Tell them what's going on in class. Tell them that you're using this to your advantage. If you want to see more of them, and we can get more support for people, that would be great. Spread the good news. If you're enjoying this, let people know. I want all the geometry people in this school to use this to their advantage. It doesn't need to just be with our class. So if you know that someone else in honors geometry or CP geometry, whatever, tell them about these videos. Feel free to have them join the remind that we have for our class. Again, thank you for watching.